Go visit them on the web at nissanofrivergate.com, where they are open 24/7 or in person at 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison. Or if you want to give them a call, it's easy at 615-865-7220. Again, that number is 615-865-7220. That's Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, where your dollar always goes farther.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Now here's Bruno and Zach.
Four o'clock here in the Music City, so you know what time it is. Time for the afternoon stretch here on Nashville Sports Radio. So glad you're alongside us here on this Friday. Friday the 13th, May 13th, right here on the afternoon stretch. I think I sent Ray a video. I don't know if we're going to play it. We'll play it at some point, but it's very Friday the 13th themed. And if you're watching on our Nashville Sports Radio video feed, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, however you want to watch, you'll see that I'm wearing my Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees shirt in the studio today to celebrate Friday the 13th as one of the spookiest days of the year. And with that, a spooky day, no Bruno Reagan today, because Bruno he does not like the spooks. He does not like that. He doesn't like getting scared. He doesn't like spooky season when it comes around in October. So Bruno is, also, the USFL's today. He's playing, his team's playing. The Bandits are in match tonight. I think it's 6:00 is when they're going to start. So that's another good reason. But no Bruno Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Hope everybody's having a good day. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. Ray Dosky, do you like the spooky season? Are you even a horror movie kind of fan?
This is the guy who dressed up as Michael Myers for Halloween. Remember?
That's right. I forgot about that. You were popping up on the video feed behind me trying to scare me.
I was.
Yeah.
But I forgot. I didn't get the email about ringing in the Friday 13th, so you're very festive today. Very festive.
I got this for Christmas. How funny is that?
Did you really?
Yeah.
Was it a nightmare of a Christmas?
I mean, hey, it was a good one. I was happy. My lovely wife, Maggie, she got it for me. So I was happy about that. But I didn't even realize it was Friday the 13th up until like yesterday. I was like, hey, Friday the 13th is coming up. I was like, I got a perfect shirt for that day. So we're in the Friday the 13th shirt today. I love me a good scary movie, man. I love getting all spooked out, getting scared. I love that so much. You go to haunted houses?
Oh, all the time. Well, I used to, but then the wife was like, "Yeah, you're a little old now for those." But I get such enjoyment going into those when they're trying to scare me. I just laugh when these little kids come out and they're like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "Saw you. I got you."
Yeah, that's what I figured. You'd be the guy that's like calling them out for it.
But who's not up always for a good scare, right? I'm always down for it. I want to take my kids. My wife keeps telling me every year we got to wait another year. We have to wait another year. So hopefully this year is the year.
Yeah. No, I think this year Halloween's going to be even more fun around the old Williams household. So we're planning some fun stuff for it. I like it though. But yeah, May 13th, Friday the 13th. Very excited time. Very excited to have you out here with us once again today. Last night, obviously, the NFL schedules got dropped. We're going to be talking about that. We got Memphis Grizzlies and Golden State Game 6 tonight in California. We're going to be talking about that. Also, we got Jordan Dejani of CBS Sports. He's going to join us at 5:20 over the phone to talk about the NFL release. Not just Titans related, but the entire schedule related. So we got a lot of stuff to get involved with. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. We also got Vandy Boys baseball starting series against Arkansas. So they're going to clip our show by about 10 minutes or so, taking over at 5:45. We're going to be done by 5:44 today. So excited for that happening as well. All right, so Tennessee Titans, everybody, first off, before we get into like the Titans direct schedule of what's coming out, I want to talk about a thing that I read this on Twitter.com, which can always be a real humbug of a thing to follow up with, but it was a really good post, and it makes a ton of sense. The schedules are the schedule release, it's not that fun. It shouldn't be that festive. Did you even watch the show last night, Ray, for the schedule release party?
I watched a little bit of it.
I didn't watch an inch of it.
I try to get as much as I could. I had to go to a thing for my kid, but afterwards I try to catch some of it. And, it's great because you see these guys try to break down like the games, and that's what most fans do. I guarantee you some of the players are looking at it as well, like, the future games are coming up, depending on what position you play, to say, like, okay, who am I playing and when am I playing them?
Right.
Whether you be a cornerback, linebacker, even, a linebacker or defensively, you're looking at that calendar like, okay, where's the tough stretch?
Right. And we already know who they're playing, right? You already know the gist of it. It's just about like the actual schedule of which day and everything. So,
right.
I get that. I'll tell you one thing that popped off this year more than any, and I guess it's really every year we do see this, but this year, some of the schedule release number, like the videos, the numbers that they're doing, first off, the videos are tremendous. Each team individually, and we'll talk about which one was my favorite here in a second, but each team individually, for the most part, put out a really cool, different videos. Very different. I mean, some of them are drastically different. But I saw this on Twitter. This was from Evan Kaplan. He put schedule release idea for next year. 1, put the social media teams for all 32 NFL teams in the same place. 2, show each schedule release video one after the other. 3, have fans vote on which one they like best. This is their Super Bowl. Give the social media teams even more shine. So that's a good idea right there. The schedule release videos are tremendous. I think that should be what the show is. Instead of doing the whole, we're going to have our guys do all this kind of stuff, have each individual team put out one at a time and go through and then vote on them. I'll tell you who is my favorite, and if you've seen it, I mean, it's tremendous. You got to catch it. It's a younger thing, obviously. Did you watch the Los Angeles Chargers? Their schedule release video?
No, I didn't. They
went fully anime. And they brought in a bunch of other anime themes inside of it from other shows. Naruto was on there. Attack on Titan was there. There was a whole host of them. That was tremendous. They even had, when they play the Tennessee Titans, they had Derrick Henry as one of the Titans, from Attack on Titan. I mean, that was, to go that level of it was so magnificent that you just got to give it to the Chargers, man. That one, to me, was A+. That was 100% A+. If Bruno was here, I bet you he would say that was probably his favorite as well, out of all of them. The Panthers had a really good one with they had like the string shot playing the music and everything. It was tremendous. A lot of them were good. I don't know. I didn't see what the Titans was. I thought theirs was like they were highlighting individual neighborhoods around Nashville and things like that.
So was it like a hype video, if you will?
Yes and no,
because you get pumped up for the season. It's only months away, and
right. It's more or less just a very creative approach to doing something that's pretty mundane, which is just saying the schedule. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But they were just all really creatively putting it out there. The worst one or the best one, I don't know. It depends on where you were. Did you see the Buffalo Bills one?
I didn't see any of them.
You haven't seen any of them?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I've got 3 hours of Vandy baseball to do tonight, so I'll check them out.
You got plenty of time.
I'll check them out.
Oh my gosh, the Buffalo Bills one. Have you ever heard of a show called The Eric Andre Show? No, you haven't.
I have not. No.
Bruno is not here. I wish Bruno was here. But it is awkward. It's an awkward kind of show. It's very satirical. The Buffalo Bills is that way. I'll paint you the narrative here. You have Dawson Knox just walks onto a set. There's a box in front of him, looks like a pizza box. He puts on this like weird mountaineer hat. And then he opens up the pizza box, and it's just like 50 buffalo wings. And he starts eating the buffalo wings right there in front of you. There's like a lot. It's like ASMR kind of. You hear a lot of noise.
ASMR.
Yeah, you start hearing a lot of gross, like, gross stuff like that going on. And then it just random things start going on around him. He's got his hands are all covered in buffalo sauce and everything. And then, you have Josh Allen walks out in like a weird outfit. I think he has a bike, and then they introduce Josh Allen, like a name pops up, and it says Football Man. That's all his name is, just Football Man. And then he shakes Dawson Knox's like buffalo drenched hand, and I mean it's very creative and very cringy and very fun. So I like that one as well. But my favorite one was definitely the Chargers. Like, without a doubt, my favorite one was the Chargers. But they should really hype that up more than this, BS ESPN show or whatever it was, where it's like, oh, the NFL schedule release, we're going to make it as professional as we can. And, it's like, golly, the whole wearing a suit and tie aspect of this is so lame and stupid. I don't understand. I can't imagine anybody tuned in last night for like high quality television. I can't imagine that's what people were looking at it for. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I mean, miss me with all of it, because I hate that stuff so much. I really, really do. I hate the prim and proper NFL. That's not what the NFL fans are. Go to an NFL stadium on Sundays and look for somebody that actually wears a suit. In that's not working the game in media, or someone that's actually a fan, and find me that whole prim and proper stuff. I can't wait for that stuff to kick rocks, because eventually it will 100% kick rocks. Let's go to the phone lines before we get into more of the conversation. 615-844-5600 if you want to jump in. Jeff in the Borough. Jeff, my man, I'm sorry I missed your call earlier today. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I don't, I know that NFL schedule was riveting television. Did you and Eric from South Nashville DVR it so y'all can watch it again this weekend? That's what I want to know.
I completely didn't watch it. I didn't care anything about it.
Really? Oh, God, I didn't know. I thought maybe you and Eric in South Nashville DVR it so y'all can watch it Saturday.
If he asked, I would do it.
What's that now?
If he wanted to hang out and watch it, I would watch it with Eric. He's a cool guy.
You probably would. You're about the only one that would. I can tell you that. You're about the only one that would. You Eric and Kenny the Mailman. When it positively has to be there 3 years from now, Kenny the Mailman will get it to you. I can tell you that. When it gets there in 2025, it'll be there from Kenny the Mailman. I can tell you that. So that's it. In the NFL schedule, they can release it a week before the season. For all I care, nobody cares. Put it online. We ain't got to have no fancy production. Put it online. Go on NFL.com and get it. We don't need to fool around this mess. Nobody cares about Peyton Manning fooling around, whatever. Why does that matter, Zach? Tell me why it matters. Why it's got to be a big production.
Well, I think the individual team productions can be funny, but I like the individual teams, like giving the social media teams for these individual teams, let them have the creativity, but like putting it out on the ESPN and having like a primetime show for it, that's so stupid.
Just put it online, for goodness sakes. Put it online. People can go on the computer to get it. We don't need to, the NBA releases their schedule. They don't make a big production out of it, really. The only thing people's worried about with them is the Christmas Day games or other games like that.
They have way more games, though, too, to announce.
What's that now?
They have way more games to announce, comparatively.
Well, that's true. They're not going to say every little game, but they've got the special days. But, how many international games are NFL playing? They're going to play in Antarctica this year? They're going to play over there. See what time would it be? About 3 a.m.? They're going to play over in Ice Bowl or just Ice Bowl number 2 that we're going to do, playing ice balls and everything, because I know they're playing in Japan or Asia, where they're playing this year internationally.
Germany, Mexico, and London, I believe.
Well, I can't wait for those games. Hurry up. I can't wait and watch them. Let's hurry up and go to Mexico. You want to? Let's get the flight and let's go. You want to? I know you and Dosky and old Pat and Cook's ready to go. You and Dosky and Pat, y'all ready to fly, ain't you? Y'all ready to go over there. So, but it's about as exciting as USFL or watching grass grow. So like I say, no, I've been doing a little work in spring sports, which I know you don't know nothing about. Baseball and softball's been going on. Did y'all catch that long softball game yesterday, the 13-inning marathon?
What is a softball?
It's a sport.
Okay. No, I didn't watch any of that. Come on.
Vanderbilt don't have because they can't afford it. Well, they can't afford it. They can't afford it.
Can't afford it and won't pay for it are two different things.
They won't pay for it. It's Title IX. They can't afford it. So they ought to be sued for not having it. They're the only school in the SEC that don't. And the only school don't have volleyball either. I need to hurry up and get it. Hurry up into 2025. Or it's that time. It didn't have in the early 80s. That time y'all get it 40 years from now. That time y'all get volleyball. That time y'all have it. So I said, maybe y'all be competitive. You might beat Kentucky about 30 years from now.
Oh, my gosh. It all comes full circle with you, Jeff.
That's right. You've been by. That's right. We had one of our worst teams a couple years ago. You still couldn't beat us in basketball. So what's the difference? You tell you can't do anything anywhere. So
Do I represent Vanderbilt or something, Ray?
no, you a Vandy, you Vandy boys, ain't you? Vandy baseball fan and stuff.
I like Vandy baseball. Why can't you like Vandy baseball and not care about anything else?
Well, let's see. Vandy baseball is Nationals team, but Vandy football's not. I wonder why. Things that make you go, Y'all have a good weekend.
Hey, Jeff. I feel like he thinks he won that exchange, and I don't like that.
Things that make you go,
No. That's what we'll take away from all this. I think the things that when Jeff calls in, that's the things that make you go. That's the things that give you acid reflux, right? When Jeff calls in, things that make you run to the toilet. That's what when Jeff calls in. I mean, good Lord. That I don't even know how we got from NFL schedule release to Kentucky basketball is better than Vandy basketball. I really don't even know the line of like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I don't even know how we got to this. It was like telephone game. I don't even know. Like I may have blacked out for a little bit. Did we get blipped by Thanos?
I was surprised you didn't mention anything about the Kentucky baseball team beating the UT team several weeks ago because we have not heard from Jeff in a while.
Not a real baseball fan.
No, he's not.
Yeah. I don't know where Jeff's been, man. He called me on the phone today, though. Left me a voicemail. I wasn't able to get to him, though. So I guess he was itching to just yell at me for that, probably.
So instead, he just came on air and did it for it,
Exactly.
Sometimes that's better, though, right? Come on air and yell at you.
Yell at me.
Leaving a voicemail.
Get all upset at me on this Friday. And we're getting to the weekend, too. Why are we bringing that much hostility to the weekend?
What's today's date?
Friday the 13th. There we are. Jason Voorhees has got to show up. I guess Jason Voorhees, like, Jeff in the Borough is our Jason Voorhees, for sure.
Yeah.
Hates anything young people are doing that are having fun. That's essentially right. Shows up at weird times.
Hates every sport we cover outside of like whatever he's not. Yeah.
From New Jersey.
Yeah.
No. Just claims another area, though.
Did he ever answer what softball was?
No, I don't think he did. He just said it's a sport, which I didn't know that beforehand. Didn't know what softball was. Golly, Jeff. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600. So Tennessee Titans football schedule. Well, it got released finally. The New York Football Giants, September 11th. That is week 1 hosting here in Nashville. I think I love that game as the starting game for the Titans. Because their schedule, I haven't looked at like rankings of difficulty. I haven't
like strength of schedule.
Strength of schedule.
I've got it for you.
Do you have that? I haven't seen any of that.
This is me, dude.
They are not. The schedule to me feels challenging because obviously the AFC West. You're looking at some of the, and then obviously who you're playing in the NFC. It does feel challenging. This doesn't feel like there's any real safe road. Last year, we talked about the middle of the schedule being the challenging part for the Tennessee Titans. Where I believe it started with the Kansas City Chiefs, or it could have started with the Buffalo Bills, but all the same, in that time frame, it was like week 6 and on. That was where we were like, oh man, this Tennessee Titans, they're gonna win their season. It's gonna be right here. This is gonna be one of the toughest times for them. As I'm looking at it. So right now, just quickly, New York at home, Buffalo on the road, Monday Night Football. That's gonna be a tough one right there, no matter what. Las Vegas at home the next week, week 3. Then on the road to Indianapolis, Washington on the road after that. Then an early bye week, which that I think is
was that week 5?
Week 6.
Week 6.
Which I think is not good. I think last year you look at they had such a late bye. I think it was week 13 last year, week 14.
They were one of the last teams to have a bye.
That was very helpful for their situation. Remember
December,
how
right?
crucial that was with getting Derrick Henry back and letting everybody rest because they were super injured up until that point.
Right.
Then they go Indianapolis after that, back at home. Houston on the road, Kansas City at Arrowhead in the start of November. Then you have Denver at home. Green Bay on the road. I mean, look at some of these away games. You're in Arrowhead. You're in Lambeau come November.
That's what you got to look at. It's November you got to look at.
Not fun. Cincinnati back at home. Philadelphia on the road. Once again, that's going to be December, Philadelphia, so that's not going to be a fun weather game at all.
We play in the cold here.
Could we? Maybe.
We do, yes.
maybe, but not that that.
It's
cold.
not that cold in Philadelphia. I'm from that area. When it's around that early December, like you have another week or so until you start to really get into cold temperatures in the Northeast.
Jacksonville back at home. Then the Chargers December 18th. Houston, no Christmas game. Christmas Eve, though, you got Houston here at home. That would be a fun one. I'm excited for that
Shocker,
one.
it's the last game of the season again.
Well, no, that's not the last game of the season.
No?
No. So then you got Dallas at home after that, which will be a Thursday night football game. And then the last game of the season is on the road against Jacksonville.
Well,
So that'll be the last
all
one.
right.
But this Christmas Eve game, that'll be fun just for like all of us media people as you get Christmas Eve right before that. Then you get to go home, wake up, Santa's there. That's going to be really fun. I'm going to have to smoke a turkey over that weekend, though. So like I'm going to have to stay up really late after that game to put my turkey in. I'm already planning that. That sucks. But all the
Thanksgiving,
same.
you got to do. Or Christmas, you got
Christmas,
to do.
yeah, it's going to be
Did
Christmas.
you do that last year, too?
Yeah, I did it. Well, yes.
Is that a Zach
For the
Williams? Is
Thanksgiving.
that like a Zach Williams family tradition?
Now it is.
Now it is.
Now it is. But I mean, this schedule, we're going to talk more about it. We got to run to a break here in a second. This doesn't seem like a very easy schedule. That's where I'm going to say. I'm going to see what the strength of schedule is because, like I said, I've been very off that reservation for a little bit. But I don't feel like this is a super easy strength of schedule. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600. We want to talk to you. Back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
Good afternoon. It's heavy, but it's moving up through Madison as we check it out live on 65 northbound all the way up to Vietnam Vets into Goodlettsville. Busy this time of the afternoon, I-40, but it's moving, looking good. Actually, I-40 out through Mount Juliet. All that traffic headed out into Wilson County. Some radar earlier, I-40 out through Dixon County and Edge Hill at Hillside. The fire department is still there on the scene of that crash. South Nashville, Nolensville Pike at Harrison Street was still tied up on that two-car crash just a few minutes ago. Hey, Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, it's home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. They have all kinds of other flavors.
At the end of a long, stressful
Check
day,
them out
you
live in
need the
person
Magic
with
Hands
two
True
locations
Shiatsu
in
Neck
downtown
and Back
Gatlinburg
Massager
or
by True
online at
Medic. At last,
GatlinburgWineCellar.com.
you don't need to make an
I'm
appointment
Commander
for a
Chuck.
professional
You're on time
massage.
traffic.
It's portable and rechargeable. Order the Magic Hands True Shiatsu Neck and Back Massager plus heat, designed to deliver a deeply penetrating shiatsu massage to relieve aches and pains. The adjustable arm sleeves give you complete control of the intensity of your massage. The retail price is $299. QVC sells it for $199. But in this special radio offer, it is yours for just $79. Plus, we will throw in free shipping. Enjoy Magic Hands in the comfort of your own home with a recertified demo model, the True Medic Massager. Just $79 with a full 1-year manufacturer's warranty and a 30-day money-back guarantee. True Medic, a brand favored by Oprah and popular with celebrities. Call now or go online for the special radio offer of just $79. Visit www.ordermagichaNds.com. That's ordermagichaNds.com or call 877-469-1669.
Lieutenant, can you tell us what happened today?
Our officers responded to a crash on I-40 westbound this morning. The driver of a pickup truck lost control of the vehicle, veered left, and went into a ditch.
911, what's your emergency?
We've been in a crash. Please send someone. My fiance is hurt.
A front seat passenger was wearing a seatbelt. She survived without injury. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the truck. He died at the scene.
Law enforcement writes tickets to save lives. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Do you find yourself looking for new and exciting things to do locally with your family during the hot summer months? Thanks to Strike and Spare, you don't have to look any further. Sign up today for Kids Bowl Free. Kids Bowl Free is a summer pass where your kids 15 and under receive 2 free games of bowling every day. You can also purchase a family pass that allows you to join in on the fun. Visit any of the 5 local Strike and Spare locations in Hendersonville, Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, and Murfreesboro, or visit kidsbowlfree.com/Strike and Spare and sign up today. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
Your exclusive Nashville Sports Radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast. Throughout this afternoon, partly sunny and breezy, temps near 80, partly cloudy overnight tonight, lows drop to the low 60s. On Saturday, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, partly sunny, temps low 80s. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network on Nashville Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's Joe Gardner.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
Welcome back. The afternoon stretch. Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio on this Friday the 13th edition of the afternoon stretch. you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. I tweeted out a question. How hard/easy do you think the Titans' schedule is? So we read through it quickly. If I'm looking at first glance, I feel like this is a tougher schedule. Because once again, you're playing Green Bay, one of the top 3 teams in the NFC right now, as we sit. Now, when we get to November 17th, everything could be very different. Which, by the way, real quick, Jarvis Landry signed to the New Orleans Saints. Very surprised that Green Bay didn't get involved.
Interesting move there.
Yeah, I mean, if Michael Thomas plays, that's a pretty good wide receiver core. But,
you still got Winston at quarterback.
You still got Winston at quarterback. You also still have Michael Thomas on the fact that he may not play because you just can't trust that guy as far as you can throw him. But all the same, surprised Green Bay didn't go after him. Which hashtag Will Fuller confirmed to Tennessee to me. Now that's happened. I'm all in on that. That's for sure.
Who's your source? You are the source.
I made it up. So the Tennessee Titans schedule. As I looked at it, I don't think this is a very helpful schedule. It gets easier. I want to say it gets easier, but I don't know. It may not get easier. I mean, you know, when you start playing Jacksonville and Houston, there's that little stretch right there that feels like it could be a little easier, but you're talking about you'll have a stretch there of Kansas City, Denver, Green Bay, Cincinnati, which Denver, is on a step up, so don't get that twisted. You start off Giants, which is easier, obviously, then Buffalo, Raiders, Indianapolis, then to Washington. So, there's I would say a reprieve, but even Washington, we still don't know. Just like Bruno said yesterday, there are no easy games in the NFL. There's no guarantees in the NFL. But even with the schedule, I mean, you're playing a lot of playoff teams last year. And frankly, with the AFC West, almost every team there was a playoff team. But you're playing a lot of the playoffs last season and teams that are on the proverbial upswing right now. So I don't feel like this is super easy. What was the strength of schedule looking like comparatively for them?
So right now, the strength of schedule, because let me see, 32, 30, 29, 28, 27, 25th easiest schedule.
They're saying this is the 25th
easiest schedule. Of course, runs out the top 4 easiest schedules. It's the entire NFC East.
Well, that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Followed by the Detroit Lions, then the Colts, then the Jaguars, and then the Titans. When you look at this, when you look at the schedule, it looks like a fun schedule. Look at how many 3:00 games, like primetime games they have compared to when they were the noon games. Mm-hmm. You're playing against 5 divisional winners. But that's what happens to you when you finish the AFC as the top team. And it's crazy that besides the fact that, yes, and all these rankings are from last year's rankings, right? Those teams that were kind of sucky or whatever average last year are no longer that, especially with the AFC West, right?
Right.
We don't know what to expect out of the NFC East because that's the other 4 that you have to play against. You're going to get the Bengals, which will probably be a revenge game. Buffalo the crazy thing in the Buffalo game, that's their home opener. So yeah. That's going to be crazy. And
Monday Night Football,
but in terms of networks and stuff like that, they're all across the map. They're actually on a Thursday night on Amazon.
Yeah, they got 4 primetime games.
Yeah, so this team's definitely going to be showcased the entire season.
And that's made apparent because Titans fans have cried so many times, and I'm right there with them, about how the Tennessee Titans were just never really taking full advantage of what they have and their star power, if they will. But now with 4 primetime games, you really can't talk about that because there's not a lot of teams that get 4 primetime games outside of major markets, but that's just money reasons. Tennessee is a smaller market comparatively so to the rest of the, to the New Yorks, the LAs of the world. So I think Titans fans are happy about that. Let's go through it here. Week 1, Giants. I'm going to say W for the Titans there. They're going to get a win in that one. I'm not going to go into scores or all that, but I feel like that should be a win. Fair?
I really want to say fair, but what has happened what is their opening record with under Vrabel? I got to look that up. I don't think it's that convincing because they got obliterated. Because it all goes down to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, that's the problem with these stars. They never played during the preseason, and they're out of shape. They're really out of shape. They don't get in shape until a month into the season because they're starters. They're veterans set in their positions. So it takes them about 4 to 5 weeks for them to get in game shape. And it was very evident last year where Derrick Henry barely played in the preseason, much like the other starters. He wasn't ready to play game 1. Game 2, half of the second game against the Seahawks, that's when he started turning the corner and stuff. And we all know that a lot of these guys come in phenomenal shape. I'm going to take the W because of the fact that, you're playing against a Giants team with a new head coach. But I think it's going to be a closer game than many people think.
All right, week 2, Buffalo in Buffalo, Monday Night Football, revenge game. This thing has been hyped up into oblivion essentially right now. I've got Buffalo winning that one. I think that one is pretty much – it's just painted in there right now. Buffalo's gotten much, much better this offseason. They were already a great team. And I think the atmosphere of that Monday Night Football game with Tennessee winning really did help the Tennessee Titans. I think that it did make an impact there. And just the energy in A.J. Brown, a lot of those things. I mean, a lot of it was A.J. Brown in that second half. He really did a huge workload. And so I not having him this year, unless Traylon Burks can quickly turn it on in week 2, I just don't see it happening. So I got that one as an L.
I'm going to go with an L as well here. I don't think – it's a home opener for the Buffalo Bills. They're at home. Prime time, I'm going with the Bills. I just think that the Bills got so much better in the offseason, and I didn't know how much better they could have gotten compared to last season.
Yeah.
Because they were really a great team last year, and they just keep adding pieces, and so I think it's going to be a tough one, Buffalo. And I hate to say it because we've seen the Titans, they've been able to play teams against, when they're the underdog, and I just feel like this is one they're going to get the L on.
Week 3, back at home, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders have gotten very buffed up over this offseason. Obviously, Devontae Adams coming in. We're going to learn a ton about the Raiders very quickly. So I think whatever we say here gets tempered a little bit just because even though the team's not brand new, they still have Derek Carr at their helm and everything. It feels like this is a shiny new car that's in the NFL. Just has that feeling of it. So this may be a little controversial. I don't know. I've got the Raiders winning this one. Very close game, though. I feel like it's very close. And it's just one of those things. Derek Carr hitting Devontae Adams, just a monster game from them two. I could be dead wrong on that one, but I've got the Titans losing this one.
I've got the Titans winning this year against the Raiders. You've got 2 players, 2 first-round picks, Farrell as well as Josh Jacobs. I believe he was the other one that was drafted one of the 3 picks in the first round that same year. The Raiders didn't pick up their 5th-year option this year. Yes, they got Devontae Adams. They've got edge rushers. They're going to be defensively a different team. Max Crosby, probably one of the best, but I think this is the game that Derrick Henry gets going, and I like the Titans.
And also, I'm on that just because it seems like the Raiders start hot. In the last few years, we've just seen them start hot.
Like the first 3 games, right?
Yeah,
and then it's a nosedive.
Yeah, eventually they're going to nosedive, but they just kind of start hot. So I'm on that side of that. So I have them right now 1 and 2, going up against Indianapolis week 4. I've got Tennessee winning that one, beating Matty Ice in Indianapolis on the road. I've got Tennessee getting that one, getting back to even at 2 and 2.
This is such a push for me because of the fact that they have Matty Ice. He's an upgrade over Carson Wentz, right? Can we agree on that? Jonathan Taylor, did they solve the number 1 wide receiver position there? No. Defensively, this team is stacked. You've got probably 7 Pro Bowlers on that team now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Titans, but it's going to be a very close game, and it's by like less than 3 points where they get this. I think it's going to be like a 1-point victory. It's going to be super tight.
Next game goes October 9th, week 5 at Washington. I've got them winning that one. They bumfuzzle and confuse Carson Wentz, and he ends up throwing. I got Titans winning that one pretty easily, honestly.
Well, we all know that whenever I picked the Washington team last year, what did they do? They lost, right? So I'm going to pick the Washington because I think they're going to lose.
Yeah. Week 6 is the bye. Titans barely squeak out of that one without a loss. Then it gets over to week 7 against Indianapolis, this time back at home. So getting the Indianapolis games over very quickly, and that's I think the schedule makers knew what they were doing there, getting those games done very early in the season and letting the pressure build up on those Jacksonville, Houston games. I've got Titans sweeping the Colts, getting them out, winning both of those series, winning both of those games. So Titans win at home against Indianapolis.
I think they lose here.
You think they lose on that one?
Series this year. Yep.
Coming off a bye, they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Oof. Now that's a Vrabel record where he's pretty much like perfect coming out of the bye almost. So that's
is Andy Reid. I get it, but I just think that the Colts, 2 games?
Yeah.
In 3 weeks
or
4 weeks, if you will, counting the bye. I think they split the series.
Houston the week after that, week 8. Houston in Houston, by the way. This one's a win because it's in Houston.
Is it, though?
I am. I'm saying it's a win. And this is where we're starting to see Houston. The run flats are running out of gel or whatever they do. They're just they're going to have a couple surprises early on, but this is where you're going to start seeing the longevity of the season, where it's like this team's not built right now to be a contender in the NFL. We're going to see it around week 8, and the Titans are just going to take full advantage of it. This is going to be a second bye week, I feel like, for the Titans. Even though the Titans lost here at home against the Houston last year, I still believe this is where Tennessee's going to take care of business against the Texans.
I do like the Texans losing in this game as well, but I think they're going to put up a fight like they did the last 2 games last year.
Week 9, Sunday night football. Kansas City Chiefs prime time in Arrowhead. A night game in Arrowhead. I don't care who you're playing right now. Titans ain't winning that one. I hate to say it. I'd love them to. I might be there at that one too, by the way. I would love to see the Titans win that one. I don't think there's a chance in hell it's happening. That's going to be tough. Outside of crazy injuries or anything, you're getting primetime Mahomes. We make jokes about like primetime Matty Ice or primetime Kirk Cousins. Well, the opposite of that, the other spectrum of that, is Patrick Mahomes in primetime. That guy is domination on primetime games. And that's when you get the best of Patrick Mahomes. Outside of a few isolated incidents, maybe. But for majority of the part in the regular season, Patrick Mahomes comes up to play on Sunday night. So I'm got the Chiefs winning, and that one's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be pretty for the Titans. And this is the other thing. Arrowhead is one of the few atmospheres that truly do make a difference in the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got Arrowhead and the Chiefs winning. I got the crowd winning that one.
I hear what you said, and I think you made a sound argument, but I respectfully disagree. I think the Titans come in there. I believe the Titans are the Kansas City Chiefs' kryptonite. They always play them type. Oh yeah, they're down to the wire games. I don't think Patrick Mahomes he's kind of, I don't know, we're taking a step back, and you lose Tyreek Hill. You have to just match up against Kelsey. Don't give me the Juju Smith-Schuster, TikTok, whatever. I don't want to hear about that guy. What's the running back situation?
Wait until they get DK Metcalf here soon.
Okay, well, we've been saying that for who knows? Who knows? Maybe the Titans will get DK Metcalf. Everyone's going to get DK Metcalf.
Yeah, somebody's going to get him.
Someone's going to get him. Defensively, they're not that great. They struggled out of the gate for the first 7 weeks of the game.
Of the season.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes was throwing multiple interceptions.
Titans beat the Chiefs handedly here at home.
Yeah. And will this be a rebound or a bench, or do they have PSTD or whatever it is? PTSD, sorry, when it comes to this, just much like how we have with the Bengals. Who knows?
Yeah.
Probably. They're going to have them at home. They're going to play in prime time. They're going to be jacked up. I know that Arrowhead, yes, it's a different space. It's just built differently there. But I think Titans come in there and win.
Last 3 matchups, Kansas City Chiefs, Titans. You have, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong here, Titans win in 2019 regular season by a Adam Humphries touchdown from Ryan Tannehill late in the game. They go on to play the Chiefs again in the AFC Championship, lose in Arrowhead. Then it cut. I don't believe they played 2020 against each other. They played 2021 season
here.
Titans beat the Kansas City Chiefs at home again in impressive fashion. I think history is going to repeat the cycle here. This is going to be another game of Titans playing the Chiefs in a primetime matchup in Arrowhead, and the Titans are just going to lose.
So let me ask you this. So if they were playing at home, would you take the Titans?
Possibly.
Right?
Yeah,
okay.
Possibly. Because that's the real...
I figured that's where you're going to go with it.
That's the common denominator of Patrick Mahomes right now. On the road, a little bit different. When he's in Arrowhead, when he's in his bag, for the most part, it's the first half of the Bengals in the AFC Championship, right? It's that. That's the Arrowhead. That's the Patrick Mahomes you see.
I get that. And I know that Patrick Mahomes has thrown crazy quarterback numbers, over 118 QBR, throws for over 300 yards, 15 touchdowns without Tyreek Hill on the team.
Yeah, Travis Kelce's still
when he's
there.
not in the lineup, yes. Travis Kelce's there. Juju, probably move the chains guy. I just don't know full term.
Who else did they grab? They had somebody else, right? Didn't they? Or maybe I'm thinking of a draft pick. Go on, though. I'm just thinking out loud.
They've done wonders when star players are out. They are able to kind of like recover from that. But in terms of what Patrick Mahomes was going to be able to do week in, week out with a Tyreek Hill, I think he's going to miss that piece. Now, granted, it's different than when you miss him for like 3 or 4 games compared to like the entire season. Defensively, we don't know what this team's going to look like. And last year, what did he try to do? He tried to overcompensate for his defense being so bad.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, 32nd up to like probably towards the mid of the season. And they kind of turned the switch and started having these easy games. And they're able to look. If there was any indication of, I'm not saying that the Tennessee Titans are the Bengals, but the Bengals just came out and just decided that like they're going to play football in the second half and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Where do they play the Kansas City Chiefs? In Arrowhead, right?
Where? When?
Bengals.
Sorry. The Bengals did, yes.
Okay,
in that second half.
Yeah. So look, and I'm saying, I don't believe in the whole like, yes, Arrowhead is built differently, but they can be had there. Now you have no Tyreek Hill. I really want to know who's going to step up as the number 2 wide receiver, because we all know that Kelsey is number 1. I know that Juju's there. He signed a contract. But
Sky Moore, that's who they drafted.
Sky Moore, yeah, he's like a Golden Tate.
Yeah.
You know?
And you got Josh Gordon still there. McCole Hardman's obviously going to step into the role just as it is.
But
to
how many
start.
times did he step into the second role?
And then MVS, that was the other one.
MVS.
Which I've already made my piece on that. I forgot they got Ronald Jones, too, by the way. I completely forgot
they
got
need
Ronald
someone at
Jones.
running back because the running backs can't stay healthy there.
Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's their starter for now, but
For like
Ronald
3
Jones,
weeks.
Ronald Jones, though, that could, if he could get it going and just not fumble the ball, just don't fumble the ball.
How many
Ronald.
times is he going to get going? Like when he had opportunities to get going in Tampa Bay, for every 3 games, he was great for 1.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. But I think it's also different systems. I mean, we'll see how he works out.
He doesn't
over
fit into any Reid system at all.
I know it's a weird marriage. So that's why I wonder how it's going to work out. What if they're going to keep Clyde as the passing down back and just put Ronald in the short yardage
goal line?
Yeah,
in the 5-yard line.
So we're at halfway through the season. I've got the Tennessee Titans 5-3.
Right.
Which I think everybody would be very happy at 5-3 at week 9. Going into half of the season, that means you're on pace. We'll see how it ends up. But that means it's going to be a pretty productive season for the Tennessee Titans just through week 9. We're going to get into more of the second half of the season when we come back. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600, back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
Good afternoon. I'm still looking at this crash up against the wall in a tricky spot, actually, on 65 southbound at Harding Place. You got all that traffic flow trying to get down into Brentwood, Franklin, down towards Williamson County. Again, 2 cars up against the wall. 65 southbound here at Harding Place. It's heavy to the north on 65, passing Vietnam Vets, trying to get up into Goodlettsville. Heavy traffic continues through Hendersonville right now on Vietnam Vets going outbound. Prince's Hot Chicken now hiring at both locations. Check them out on Facebook. If you haven't been there in a while, check out that menu at princeshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Great news from Rocket Mortgage. You could unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In fact, in the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could unlock all that cash in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up, because nobody knows how long these low rates will last. Put your hard-earned money to work. Make your life better. Build a home office, remodel your kitchen, or simply save that cash for a rainy day. Today's rate on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.25%, 3.48% APR, so you can lock in a great low monthly payment. When you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Here at Total Wine & More, you'll find what you love and love what you find, especially our totally low prices.
That rosé you recommended was a hit. What should we try for more fun in the sun this weekend?
This silver tequila makes a refreshing tequila sunrise.
Perfect. Wow, that price is refreshing too.
Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Pickup and delivery available at TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly, B21.
Get all your NASCAR news every weekday right here on the Final Lap. Hey, it's Kerry Murphy, and Joey Logano ends a 40-race winless drought, grabbing the win his very first career at Darlington Raceway. Up next for the NASCAR Cup Series is Kansas Speedway. So grab all the latest NASCAR news, race recaps, driver reviews, stats, and info every single week, right where Joey does.
Hi, I'm Joey Logano, and I get my NASCAR news on the Final Lap with Kerry Murphy.
And check out our NASCAR talk show, The Final Lap Weekly, wherever you get your podcasts.
Sports Radio WNSR.
Welcome back to the afternoon stretch. Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Today, Titans minicamp happened. Rookie minicamp, that is. People are all worried about Traylon Burks, saying the conditioning wasn't there. He did not finish today inside the minicamp. He was basically just conditioning is what it was. Came down. He was not in what you would say shape. And that's what Mike Vrabel went on to speak about, essentially. Talking about how, this isn't just coming out here to get back into shape. That's not the case. Veterans come out, and they're ready because they know what's going on. When you get rookies in there, they think these rookie minicamps just kind of getting back in shape, and that's not what it's about. It's getting ready for the season, which is different. You need to be in shape when you come into camp. As somebody who's out of shape, I can talk about this vividly.
and here he has enough pressure on him.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's...
This doesn't help.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
The guy's a finely tuned athletic machine. So I think it'll be fine. I don't think people need to freak out. Also came out of there after talking to the media, Malik Willis talked about Ryan Tannehill. Said that Ryan Tannehill had him and other rookies over at his house to show him game film and, all that fun stuff. So the whole Tannehill versus Malik Willis, do they hate each other? Tannehill's scared of this guy, not going to be his mentor, blah, blah, blah. Throw it out the window. We all knew it was garbage from the beginning. Just people trying to get clickbait, so don't worry about it. So when we last left off, we were talking the Titans schedule. We're going through it game by game. And this is a very early, rough estimate of what's going to happen this season. A lot of things are going to happen. We got to week 9, November 6th. Now we get to November 13th, week 10 at home against Denver Broncos. I've got this one as a win. Russ, he can cook all he wants. I think the Tennessee Titans win this one at home. I had them at the halfway point 5-3. This would make them 6-3.
I've got him losing. I think that.
So you think that the Chiefs are going to be beaten by the Broncos? By the Titans, but then lose to the Broncos?
Because the Denver has a better defense than the Kansas City Chiefs. Do you see that? Have you seen that Broncos secondary?
Which team would you say is better, Kansas City or Denver?
It's neck and neck.
Really?
In terms of offensively, I would give the edge to Denver. And it's a close one because when you think of Kansas City, what do you think of offensively? You think Patrick Mahomes, and then Kelsey comes afterwards. Mm-hmm. When you look at Denver, you say Russell Wilson. They got a two-headed monster and a running back between, I think Gordon came back, right? As well as their other second-year running back that just got it last year out of North Carolina. His name escapes me, but I'll eventually I'll find it later. Williams, that's it. And then you've got Cortland Sutton. Mm-hmm. You have maybe a Jerry Jeudy because we all know that he's we all know about him as well. And then you've got Tim Patrick is another one I think that people forget about. And offensively they're bad, but defensively this secondary is scary.
What's changed from Russell Wilson's situation from this year to last year, from the Broncos to the Seahawks? Because he had two stud wide receivers, right? Running back Chris Carson, when healthy, was solid. So he had a good offense, and we still would see a bad Russell Wilson show up.
Nathaniel Hackett, I think it's going to be a different offensive scheme because he didn't want to be in a run-first type offense because that's what the Seahawks were. Mm-hmm. They ran first, and then they would pass. Now, of course, a lot of those games they had to pass because they were behind.
Well, he had a lot of 500-yard games.
But where was DK Metcalf? You had a handful of games where Tyler Lockett was there. DK Metcalf got, 3 touchdowns last year? 2 of them in his last game of the season? He disappeared after having such a strong 2021 campaign.
Yeah. So that's why I don't know.
But I think Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett, they're going to make beautiful music together, and I think they're going to be better. I think Denver's going to be a lot better. I think Denver is probably the second best team in the West.
Then we go on to November 17th, week 11, Thursday night football. We're all going to be pissed off because we're going to be like, I got to have an Amazon Prime subscription to watch this stupid game. Everyone's going to complain about it. In Lambeau, the illegal streams will flood here in Nashville. But in Lambeau, I think this one's a loss. I think the Kansas City. I think the Green Bay Packers just in Lambeau in November. That's really, really tough. And Aaron Rodgers just does Aaron Rodgers things.
I think Aaron Rodgers and the Packers go down, baby.
Oh
I think the Titans win. I think that the loss of Adams is going to be so significant for this team.
Last time Titans were in Lambeau, they lost pretty bad.
Yeah, but they don't have Adams this time.
Oh.
I'm not worried about that. I think they're going to...
Aaron Rodgers is good with anybody, though, right?
Yeah. Well, he is. I mean, we saw that last year when he played against Arizona when they was listening, they lost like 2 or 3
He was throwing to the janitor there,
and like, yeah. But I think when you look at the Arizona game last year, I think Arizona was super overconfident. Not were they overconfident, but they were going downhill. They had already peaked. And they started to have this free fall, and they just could not recover. There was questions they were going to fire their the Cliff Kingsbury towards just that second, the 8-game streak where they just lost after starting 10-0, 9-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay, all they have right now is Aaron Jones.
Playoff rematch comes in week 12 against Cincinnati. This one at home here in Nashville. This one, I don't think the Titans can afford to lose just on sheer pride. And I think Tannehill, who's talked about his dark moments and all this, I think that he's going to look at this as a vendetta game. So no matter what I think you're put the over on everything. If Tannehill's out there playing, put him on his over on everything. Every player prop you could think of with Tannehill, he's going to show up and show out for the home crowd against Cincinnati. So I think that's a win for the Titans.
I think they come back and win, and I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
They just need to show up and play. That's what happened to them in the playoffs last year. They just didn't show up, and they made bad mistakes, and I think that this is going to be his revenge game for them.
Week 13, they go up to Philadelphia. I think they win that one against Philadelphia. It's a revenge game, if you will, to start December. I got the Titans winning that one.
I would have loved that game to be at home. How fun that would have been, right?
The schedule makers, they didn't know
I
this
was thinking they were going to do it. I was like, come on. But yes, I've got them winning against a Jalen Hurts-led team.
Jacksonville next week in week 14. That'll be at home. I think we all got that one pretty much chalked up as a win. But you never know. We'll see what Jacksonville is this next year because there's a lot of changes there. So we'll find out. December 18th against the Chargers. I've got that one as a loss. I think that's in L.A. Just going to be a tough one. Chargers at that time probably going to clicking in all gears, all cylinders. You agree with that? I think you agree
absolutely.
with that one?
I think Chargers are probably the best team in the AFC West.
Houston back at home Christmas Eve. I think Titans get the win on that one. Send all the Titans faithful happy and fat right there. Dallas back on Thursday Night Football. We're going to be less grouchy because we figured out the Amazon Prime illegal stream leaks.
We figured it out by this point, right?
We figured it out.
It's taken us a couple of weeks.
It's at home. I think that'll be a fun one to be at just in general. I think it'll be a good game, and I think the Titans win that one as well.
Yeah, I think Dak and Cowboys go down. I just don't know what this team looks like anymore. You lost your number one wide receiver in Amari Cooper. Offensive line, still huge question marks there, regardless of who got fillers, whatever. I think that this team is not what they used to be. Defensively, yes, they're a little, they're better, but I think the Titans have the edge here and they win at home.
And then Jacksonville on the road in Jacksonville, I think that's another win.
Yeah.
And that would put my grand total of a 12-5 season for
which
Tennessee
makes them a
Titans.
25th ranked easiest strength of schedule.
I don't think these games are as easy, though, as I guess. Maybe I'm just looking at it and I'm just seeing all of it at once. But and I'm giving them a 12-5. You're doing exactly what you did last year. That's what I'm saying. There's a chance they could be first in the AFC again.
Yeah, they brought most of their players back except for A.J. Brown, the ones they traded away or got rid of. But most of the core team is back.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be a good schedule for them. I do feel like it's going to be challenging at times, just the way it moves and maneuvers. But there's definitely winnable games. One thing that I realized, the only AFC team that they're going to beat is Denver. That's the only one I've got them beating on the schedule.
That's not good.
It's not good. But, hey, finish 12-5, lose all that. Who cares about that? If you finish 12-5, you're winning the AFC.
You said the AFC? You got them only winning one?
AFC West.
West, okay. So they're going 1-3 this year, huh? Wow.
Yeah, that's what I got. I think that's good. I said this a while ago. Your Super Bowl's coming out of the AFC West. I don't know who it is, but I think the Super Bowl champion.
Because every one of their games is prize on.
Well, I think it's just that all the talent's there.
Yeah,
I mean, that's it's been a huge exodus to get there. All right, we need to run to our last break of the first hour. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600.
Good afternoon. These two cars are still up against the wall. I figured they'd be out of here by now. They've been up here for about an hour almost on 65 southbound at Harding Place. They're in a terrible spot as you head down towards Brentwood. Yeah, as you come from downtown, you're going to see this on 65 southbound at Harding Place. Heavy traffic on all the major outbound routes. It's Friday. You know the drill. Give yourself extra travel time. Busy over in Mount Juliet right now in the normal spots. Hey, Gatlinburg Wine Cellar. It's home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Yes, they have all kinds of other flavors. Go see them in person. They've got 2 locations in downtown Gatlinburg and online at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
The Final Lap with Kerry Murphy is on.
Friday is here, so let's get you set up for the NASCAR weekend from Kansas Speedway. Race number 13 of 36 on the schedule on a 1.5-mile oval. Banking is progressive, 17 to 20 degrees. The front stretch is 2685 feet, backstretch 2207. Cup race is 267 laps or 400 miles. The stages look like this: 80 laps for stage 1, 85 for 2, and 102 for the balance. Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson were your 2 2021 winners. And Truck Series racing goes down Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern on FS1, 134 laps or 201 miles. And Cup Series action Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Drivers that typically do well there include 3 three-time winners in Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, and Kevin Harvick. Harrison Burton is on, and he's looking forward to going to some of these racetracks a second time with a notebook in hand.
Really beneficial to get all these different track types kind of not out of the way, but you get a notebook on every single type of racetrack, right? And now we're going to places that you could relate to other places. When we first started with the car, it was Daytona, California, Vegas, Phoenix, all different tracks. And every time we went there, it was kind of a guess. And now we've hit a lot of tracks that, quite frankly, I think race teams are worried about. Kind of every kind of racetrack that you could think of. And we can go try and build off of that and show up off the truck closer than what we have been in the past.
Like us at Facebook.com/The Final Lap.
Now Martha Stewart for Skechers. When I make a dish or embark on a craft project, I always use the finest, most fabulous ingredients and materials. Which is why, when it comes to footwear, I love Skechers. Because Skechers is the comfort technology company and uses the most luxurious, innovative materials and designs to make wondrously comfortable footwear with all the fits and features like Arch Fit and Skechers' world-famous air-cooled memory foam. It's exactly the way I'd make shoes.
Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
And Doug.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 in 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Greg Pogue back once again to tell you about Bongo Java, Nashville's oldest and most celebrated coffee company, now also located in the Omni Nashville Hotel. Reward yourself for surviving Nashville traffic with fresh, locally roasted coffee, classic handcrafted espresso drinks, and fresh baked goods all day long. And free Wi-Fi so you don't have to work from home. #1 in customer service. You made it through the traffic. Reward yourself with a perfect pick-me-up at Bongo Java. Fresh coffee, delicious treats, great atmosphere. Open 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. daily. Bongo Java at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
First hour coming to a close here on the afternoon stretch. Second hour coming up. At 5:20, we're going to have CBS Sports' own Jordan Dajani, who we've had in this very station multiple times, on this very show, actually, as a guest host a couple of times. So we'll have him on at 5:20 to talk about the NFL schedule as a whole, get his thoughts on the schedule release videos, all that fun stuff. I know he'll have some good insight on that. But at 5 o'clock, we come back for the second hour. We're going to talk some Memphis Grizzlies, Golden State basketball, because that game's going on, and you're going to be able to have that game tonight here on the very station after some Vandy Boys baseball. So it's going to be, they got to win. It's win or go home. It's win, lose, or go home, because either way, they're going home after this. It doesn't matter, but they can own their own destiny. So we'll see what happens. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600. First hour's done. Second hour's coming up. Don't
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. The pandemic is now deadlier for the nation's police officers than guns.
Since the onset of the pandemic, 472 law enforcement officers have died of COVID-19, making the virus a far bigger killer of law enforcement officers nationwide than felonies or accidents. A new FBI report obtained by ABC News said the average officer to die of the coronavirus was a 51-year-old male with 21 years on the force. 2021 was the deadliest year for law enforcement officers in the past 5. There were 448 deaths. 73 involved a shooting or some other felony, while 291 involved COVID-19. The trend is continuing in 2022.
ABC's Aaron Katursky. President Biden earmarked $10 billion in funding for police departments to address the rise in crime around the country. Money's part of the American Rescue Plan. The FDA says it will work with suppliers to import baby formula from approved countries, trying to make up for a shortage caused by a major manufacturer's recall. This is ABC News.
Sometimes we push those health worries to the back of our minds, way back. But if chest pain, heart racing, or shortness of breath have been bothering you, bring them up front. Call a doctor. It could be a condition like atrial fibrillation. AFib can have other symptoms too, and increases stroke risk about 5 times. This is no time to wait.
A message from Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer. Learn more at notimetowait.com.
There are so many words to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. The chicken, juicy, succulent, seared. The brioche roll, buttery and toasty. The Parmesan crisps, crunchy, tangy. The secret aioli, creamy and rich. All those words, but when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches. Enjoy $1 delivery fee when you order on our app. Restrictions apply. For details, visit panerabread.com/delivery info.
Hello, this is Greg Pogue. The first time I met Tim Leeper, owner of Tim Leeper Roofing, I didn't know I needed a roof on my home, but I recalled meeting Tim as a huge supporter of Hope Hines' annual charity golf tournament, and upon further research at timleeperroofing.com, that his long-based mid-state company was a former recipient of Roofing Contractor of the Year in Tennessee. Now in these trying times, we all should seek a comfort level personally and professionally. So if you have roofing issues, either residential or commercial, I recommend Tim Leeper Roofing. Please give them a visit at timleeperroofing.com.
Is your website a help or a hindrance? Media Lifeline brings over a decade of media experience to your rescue. We can make your business shine with our dedicated staff of designers and media experts. We offer custom website design and total website care. Never have to update or fuss with your site again. Rest assured, it's always updated and performing at its best, taking your business to the next level. Contact us today at MediaLifeline.net.
It's a Bill King Show.
I have this aversion to either the media or anybody else telling people what they ought to be doing with their money. Maybe in this case, it's just me versus the planet Earth. But I'm not going to tell those coaches at Tennessee or any other school, here's what you ought to be doing with your money.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Okay, it's happening.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Now here's Bruno and Zach.
Second hour of the afternoon stretch coming at you here on Nashville Sports Radio. 5 o'clock hour, that is. Here till 6 o'clock. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. I just saw a CNBC a tight headline. It says more than $200 billion erased from entire crypto market in day as sell-off intensifies. Oh, man. I wish Bruno was here for that one just to laugh at all the crypto
market
bros.
Is so red. It's trying to find its foot. It's going to reset.
It's going to reset. You know more about this than me. I don't know about this.
Yeah, well, when you look at the stock market, it never goes like this. It's like more or less a 45 degree go. So it's going to go high. It's going to come test, support, and then it's going to go back up. So there's always newer lows, higher highs, higher lows, what have you. You'll be fine. Apple's no longer the number one most valuable company anymore.
Really?
Maybe came down
is
to
it
number 2.
Is it Nashville Sports Radio?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe
I think we're on the list.
I
I don't know where we're on the list, but we're somewhere.
Gotta be at least top 20.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I hear about this station and this show. Yeah. So I think John Burton and Pogue drag it down a lot.
Especially Burton. He's so close to the ground.
He's so close. I mean, his center of gravity is impeccable, and it only hurts the station. I don't know why I felt like I was going to lead that into an insult of John Burton, but I'm glad we got there.
I left you for it. I was like,
I'm glad
coming.
I'm glad we got in there. And, it's Friday. We're headed to the weekend. I got good vibes, all that fun stuff. We got Vandy Boys baseball. We got playoff basketball here on the station. A lot of fun stuff happening. But it's always good to take that low road and just kick Burton really hard right when I got a chance to. Because I just will randomly listen to their show when I'm, need to take a nap in the morning or something like that. I'll pop it on just to fall asleep to.
Is that your ASMR?
Yeah, pretty much. It'll put you in a state of like, it's like eating vanilla pudding. You know what I mean? You're like, do I need to do this? Do I have to do this? No, but I'm going to do it, So I'll just do it every once in a while, and then I'll hear John Burton throw my name out there, and I'll get interested for a second because I'm like, oh, hey, he's talking about me, and that's probably, majority of the listeners are like, oh, hey, he's talking about me. So, it's just what it is, but got to kick him when you can, make sure you put it out there. Very excited for y'all to join us once again in the second hour. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. We're going to talk about some Grizzlies and Golden State. But Ray worked up a little something just to make me feel sad about myself. So, Ray, why don't you go ahead and play your masterful piece of audio.
The Grizzlies blow off the Warriors. A 39-point win. They avoid elimination.
Down by 55 or down by 5, lose by 50, lose by 5, you lost. You made too much of it.
I would be absolutely flabbergasted if the Grizz come back and win the series. I swear if they do.
Yeah. The first part I got from ESPN, like it was great when I saw it, and I was like, I wanted to add your stuff on there. Here's some photo editing.
I swear, if the Grizz come back and win, I'm gonna hear that audio every day. Probably, I'm gonna hear it every single day for the rest of my life. If they do, I mean, if the Grizz come back, I think first off, if they get to a Game 7, because you even look still, he's still technically day to day. Is what they say him. He's
considered doubtful, but he's not out.
He's not out, and I truly believe they get to a Game 7, they're going to shove all the cortisone they have into his knee and be like, look, go play.
He's going to voluntarily take it. He's going to yes, give me what I need to get back on the court.
Give me the Mariah needs to sing tonight kind of stuff. That's what I want, that kind of stuff. So I firmly believe that, but they have an uphill battle because apparently everybody just knew, oh my goodness, no, they're going to destroy them in Memphis. And I don't know where that optimism came from because we'd already seen them lose in Memphis against Golden State. We already saw that. And I understand everybody keeps bringing up, they're just a few points away from this being a tied series. I get that, but I'm not worried about what could have, should have, whatever. I'm worried about what's happening right now. And I was wrong. I came out the next show and was talking about how very wrong I was about the Grizzlies getting that win against Golden State. I mean, they won with authority. Like they went out there. I mean, that was an impressive win by the Grizzlies. You wonder if it was a little too much. Hopefully it's not too much scoring that night and they saved some of it for tonight against Golden State because Golden State at home is a completely different animal.
When you look at this matchup, look at the team that's playing on Golden State right now. Klay Thompson has not looked like what he's self. I think he's put too much pressure to get back into himself, into that game shape, if you will, to find his flow. And he showed flashes. Not only towards December's when he came back, Christmas time I believe is when it was, till now, going to the playoffs. He'll show like just beautiful shot range. His shots were dropping. And then there's other times where he's just like, dude, him and Steph Curry, below around 30% in terms of the three-point line. Steph Curry, 32%. Klay Thompson, 28%. Draymond Green, I don't know what's going on with him.
But every
time he was get the ball, when he was against Game 5, he'll just look around. I'm like, dude, you're 10 feet away from the ball. You're in the paint. Just shoot the ball. He was scared to shoot it. Can someone tell him, can you shoot the ball? Otto Porter, out. He's not doing. I want to say he's a game time decision. Iguodala, who was supposed to come back after dealing. Well, I think he suffered a neck injury in this first series, and then he was supposed to come back and probably get reevaluated for Game 6, but he's still out. He's going to be out for Game 6 and 7. That's a huge loss. Then you look at Steph Curry. You just don't seem like there's like any urgency from them, these guys. And we all talk about the championship pedigree, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not the same championship team.
No.
Kendall Perkins said it perfectly. He's like, this is not the championship pedigree that was a couple years ago. This is a different Golden State team. When you look at this Grizzlies team, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're younger. They just don't care. And they were like, we're not having it. We're not going to lose. And Coach Jenkins was probably telling the Memphis Grizzlies guys when they came to Game 5, go kick their butts.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. Now, no one was close. Many had pegged them to win Game 5, but not like the way that they did. Not convincingly. Almost by, 40 to 50 points?
That was if anybody was going to sit there and say, oh, I called that win happening, you're crazy.
Yeah. There was no way you could see it by that many, by that stretch at all. I mean, these guys tapped out in the second, third quarter. They're like, all right, we're gonna sit Steph. The game's over. We're gonna go back to Golden State.
Yeah.
Golden State needs to win tonight. It's not that they can win. They need to win tonight because they don't want to come back to Memphis.
I don't think they want to either. I don't think they want to. I think they want to try to wrap it up. This series, I think this series has taken them by surprise a little bit.
You think so?
Being this tough as it is and weird because the games have been very close. Outside of two, obviously. One where Ja gets injured, and then this last one, obviously, in Game 5. I think the series has been a tough series for Golden State as a whole because, like I said, I think your Western Finals champion is coming out of this game. They're coming out of this series. I'm still sitting on what I said. The winner of that Game 4 is going to be the winner of the series. I still think that's Golden State. This has to be. I mean, if Grizzlies get by this tonight and they get a win in Golden State, I'm changing my tune completely. Then I'm on.
You
Golden
have
State,
to,
or I'm on Grizzlies.
You absolutely have to.
Yeah.
You have to change because look, who doesn't want the Golden State Warriors to win? People who want to see, the Memphis Grizzlies to win. This is the people who want to see Golden State in the championship. But there's many that are out there, like myself. Like, let's see somebody new. Yeah. Golden State's up there. They were number 2 in the West last year for this past season for a reason. 21-6 without Ja. They don't need Ja to win. They don't. But we all know the NBA pundits and the media and all that stuff. We need to have Golden State. Because, look, what's going on? We're in Phoenix and Dallas. Phoenix might not even make it out of that series.
Yeah.
It's tied up 3-3.
Yeah, that's a weird series.
Could it be crazy if it's Dallas going against Memphis in the Western Conference Finals? Where
have we seen that before?
Yeah, exactly.
The last time Dallas won the NBA Finals against the Heat.
Yeah.
Which, holy shit. We're getting to I almost cussed. What is going on? Is time repeating? Was that 2012?
Yeah.
So 10 years ago.
10 years ago this year. Yeah.
And we're getting to a chance where it's
a decade. A full decade's passed.
What could be the East Finals right now? It could be.
It's going to be either Milwaukee or Miami.
It could be Miami versus Boston.
Miami versus Boston.
Yeah. Is that not the exact? Am I wrong here? Is that not the
if Miami gets
2012?
you Boston and let's say Dallas advances forward and they're able to come out of the West.
It was the big three in Boston, right? And Miami got over them and went their big three. And then it was, I'm pretty sure that's how it was in 2012.
How crazy is that, huh?
Oh, my God. Time really is a flat circle, right? Like, this is all a simulation.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I got to fact check this. If that is what it is right now, just 100%.
If that was the year they went, yeah, I can find out right now.
Because, I mean, that was big three, right? Like, that was when the big three, I'm pretty sure.
It was their first year as the big three.
Yeah, 2012 NBA season. That, if that's exactly 10 years, has anybody thought about this? Or are we like picking it up right now? Because, I'm on the draft. I don't want the draft.
No, it was Miami versus Thunder.
That was Miami versus Thunder?
Yeah. That was the year. That was, I think, the last year.
What year was it? Well, the Miami wins that, so it would have been 2011 season, right?
It was the year prior to that.
Well, hey.
Yeah, 2011.
So, yeah, it would have finished around the same time. So it would have been still 10 years ago, right? Because 2001 going in?
Yeah, I mean, we're going 21 to 22, yes. That's correct. But I believe that was a 2010, 2011, was it not season?
Yeah, so 2011 was when that
was a 2010, 2011 year. Season.
Is that how? Yeah, okay.
But this year, where they're going from the 2021, 2022 season.
Yeah.
But it's 11 years. It just missed it by a year.
He defeated the Bulls in the Eastern. That's what I was wondering. Man, how crazy is that? It's still really close. Mavericks defeated the Thunder that year. Never mind. Okay.
There it is.
I had to get that
You got
out
excited there for a
I was
minute.
like, wait a second. Are we?
You got me excited because I thought that was one of your.
Are
but
we
I
the
missed it by
first
you.
ones to put this together?
Yeah, we were close. I mean, we were like, yeah.
Scrap that from the board, everybody.
Yeah.
Not that important.
But hey, 11 years. Wow.
Still, I mean, where were we? That threw me for such a loop.
We're talking about like the Golden State versus Memphis matchup.
Oh, yeah. So I saw our good buddy Nick on Twitter. He said, give Ja what they gave Giannis last year. Yeah, I mean, for real. I don't know, because it was his knee. And then for some reason, they were all talking about how Giannis is done. He comes out, doesn't even look like he's hampered at all. So whatever they gave Giannis was something they need to figure out to give Ja, because that is a
Does he come back for Game 7 if they win tonight?
I believe so.
He has to, right?
I believe
he has
so.
to come back for Game 7.
Because if they were just going to rule him out, saying like,
he's out for indefinitely.
they would just say.
You say it.
They would just say he's out for the series, like no matter what. Which they haven't said that.
It's a bone bruise, right? That's what they called it.
Yeah, and bone bruise. I don't really know. I had bone bruise on my heel at one point.
Yeah.
I'm also I was a kid playing baseball. I'm not professional athlete or anything like that. It hurt like crazy for like a week, and then after that it was gone. So completely different things. I understand, but I did have bone bruise on my heel. And it did eventually go away, and I wasn't shooting cortisone cortisone inside my body, right? Like that wasn't me. I wasn't shooting whatever pain relievers that the NBA is going to be able to give their guys. So I think he would be back. Personally,
he's young enough. I mean, he's going to heal like nobody's business. What, he's 22, 23 years old?
Yeah.
You come in, a week has gone by when you've suffered this injury. You probably won't even need anything, honestly. If they can win tonight. Get to when's the next game? Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the next game, right? That'd be Game 7.
Yep.
If you get that's a week. That's a week since he's suffered this injury. Let's do it. I think he's got a chance. Memphis is going to win tonight.
So you're on board with that?
I'm
still sticking with the Grizz.
Because I'm not fake. I'm going to stick with Memphis because I've been in road dog the entire time. Like, Memphis.
Did you say you're not fake?
No, I'm not a fake fan. I'm rolling, dude. I even got this shirt. I went to the game that says who? Yeah. We're going Memphis, baby.
Why didn't you wear it today? If you have the shirt,
because it was dirty.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. You don't want to come in here smelling in the studio. It's already hot enough. Can you imagine? Start the go through this. No, I didn't want to do that to you at all.
Well, let's look at her. As always, FanDuel. Of course, use code TAS. You'll hear about that here in a little bit, just a little bit. But let's look at what the odds are for tonight with the Memphis Grizzlies. So +8 right now is what they have. Underdogs for that's an 8-point spread. Wow, I'm surprised that's an 8-point spread considering the last game that was. I mean,
it was a 9-point spread at home for Memphis, and what happened there?
Yeah, they covered that. -370 favorites on the money line is Golden State, +295, so almost 3-1 on Grizzlies right now.
Yeah, I would take the Grizzlies because they don't care. They just don't care, Zach. They're going to come in. They don't care about point spreads and who's favored, whatever. They're not scared of Golden State. They respect them, but they're not scared of them. And they've led it pretty much every game except for what was a Game 3 when they got blown out.
Yeah,
they've led in every game.
So you've got Grizzlies winning outright, covering the spread, obviously, and then the over-under line is 218.
Well, how things matched up last week, I took the what was it, Tuesday night when they played? I took the under at 218, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it almost seemed like the Grizzlies covered it by themselves.
Yeah, they really almost did.
They took it. They won it. So I would take the over on this. I think.
All right. If you put that together on a same-game parlay through FanDuel using code TAS, $5 wins you $27.
That's nothing. We could do
plus $5.44 on that one. Still plus money.
That is plus money.
Are we not happy with plus money, right?
No.
That's not good enough.
Do we need to throw any players in there?
Do we need to throw some player props in there just to juice the stats a little bit? Is that what we're needing?
Because
to do
if you
now?
look at the players what was it, Tuesday night? You had 7 players that scored over 10 points. You had 3 players that scored over 21 points. Bain, Triple J, and Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think, like I told you, what was going to happen Tuesday night is going to happen again tonight. They're more mature about the basketball. They're more mature offensively, what they want to do. They're going to spread the ball around. Everyone's going to get involved because that's the way to beat this Golden State team. Because their quarterback, their facilitator, their point guard is out.
Desmond Bain over-under in points, 19.5.
Yeah, so he's been around 18 points in the series. I would take the over on that.
Plus 100 on that. So
Yeah.
that's an easy lick.
Yep.
Jaren Jackson, over-under 17.5.
I go the over on that as well.
Let's see. I'm trying to see another one. Dylan Brooks is 17.5 as well.
He gets hot and cold at times.
Yeah.
Like I would take the under if I had
Katy
to.
Perry.
Yeah. Yeah. I would take the under on that because I just don't. He can be hot, and he's shown himself to be a valuable scorer at times, but it just game 4 just torched him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like tonight they're going to spread the ball around. I don't think there's not going to be one player who's going to try to be Mr. Superman or be Mr. Savior, if you will, because if they try to be that person, it doesn't work against this Golden State team.
All right, we need to go to a break. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600. But just as we have so far in the entirety, one of the things I love about betting my favorite sports is that I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine prop bets from multiple games and now even multiple sports. It's called Same Game Parlay Plus. You just heard us make one. And you can only find them on FanDuel. Combine NBA playoff player props you love with your favorite baseball home run hitters for a chance to score an even bigger payout. I really do. I love these so much because it just gets you more involved. And some of the matchups that go out there, some games, they can maybe be a little boring. So you put a little skin in the game, you match them up together, you can make some good money, as you just heard us build one. If you don't want to build your own same-game parlay, check out their popular same-game parlays section where you can join the bets others are jumping on. So that makes it a little bit simpler. You can go in there and kind of compare everything. I love that. It's really nice. And if you're new to FanDuel, sign up with promo code TAS, the afternoon stretch, TAS, to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Make every moment more and download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use promo code TAS, the afternoon stretch, TAS, so they know that we sent you over. You got to be 21 and up and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789. Hey guys, it's Zach from the Afternoon Stretch. One of the things I love about betting my favorite sports is that I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine prop bets from multiple games and now even multiple sports. It's called Same Game Parlay Plus, and you can only find them on FanDuel. Combine your favorite baseball home run hitters for a chance to score an even bigger payout. If you don't want to build your own Same Game Parlay, check out their popular Same Game Parlay section where you can join the bets other users are jumping on. And if you're new to FanDuel, sign up with promo code TAS to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Make every moment more and download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use promo code TAS so they know that we sent you. 21 up and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Dealing with ED is difficult enough, but the pressure of not satisfying your partner makes it even worse. ED can be tough on a relationship, but at HIMSS, you can contact a medical provider online and, if appropriate, get the prescription medication that treats ED at affordable prices. HIMSS ED medication has the same active ingredients as Viagra, but because it's generic, you pay 90% less. That's right, 90% less. A whole month's supply is just $30, and it's sent right to your home for free in discreet packaging. HIMSS offers the same medication you'd get from your doctor, but without the copay, expensive appointments, or awkward face-to-face conversations. And with HIMSS, every online visit is free, and your relationship right back on track. For a free online consultation, go to forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free visit. forhims.com/joy.
At J&J Printers, they like to answer the question, can you? It's their mission to help you achieve the best possible printing regardless of quantity, complexity, or budget. At J&J, they believe if it's important enough to print, it's important enough to print right. So yes, J&J can help your business with the design of your brochure or printing those business cards. They can even help you process that mailing. See why Nashville has relied on J&J Printers for over 35 years. Check them out online at jnjprinters.com.
The world champs are back. The Braves are out to defend their world championship. And behind Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried, and this loaded 2022 roster, a repeat is within reach.
There goes Ozzie, 2-2 on the way, hit well. Deep center field. Might have ourselves a tie ball game. You betcha.
And we'll bring you every huge moment of the Braves 2022 season right here.
The Braves, live here on Nashville Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the afternoon stretch. Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. But now we get to go to a good friend of the show. We've had him on not only as a guest, but also as a fill-in co-host while Bruno's been gallivanting with the Tampa Bay Bandits in the USFL. Our good buddy Jordan DeJani with CBS Sports. He covers all the NFL there. Jordan, my man, how you doing?
Yo, what's going on, man? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thank you. Here, well, I like to peel the onion back, show behind the scenes. I had another guest that was set to come on today, had to change course, but I always know I can throw the bat signal up very quickly to my good buddy Jordan. So I appreciate you, my man, taking the time to fill me in a little bit, so I don't have to sit here and just ramble.
Oh, of course, dude. Yeah, trust me, man. I love appearing on the radio with you. If anything came up, apart from me getting arrested or something, you know I'm going to answer the phone.
I love it. Also, I failed to mention this. Not only covers the NFL for CBS, also semi-pro storm chaser, Jordan DeJani. So hopefully there's no tornadoes in the area that'll take you off the phone call.
Yeah, we're getting some pop-up storms, by the way. That doesn't exactly pair well with traffic that's moving southward. So there's storms out lingering in the west, pop-up stuff with the very hot weather. Now you understand why Traylon Burks couldn't finish that first minicamp practice.
Hey, so right into it then. What are your thoughts when you see that? Because I saw, Titans Twitter starts freaking out immediately over any little thing. I swear they're always a powder keg just ready to blow. When you see that, I wasn't able to be at the rookie minicamp today. Were you able to make time to get out there? I don't know if you were out there or not.
No, I wasn't, but I do love to see it. I mean, I hope he drops all the balls in the preseason, too, so we can turn into 2022's version of Jamar Chase and win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Yeah, to be serious, I mean, obviously all that storyline's overhyped. I don't know if it was necessarily he wasn't in playing shape. Again, I wasn't there, but he was using an inhaler. I don't know if he has asthma. Every time it's your first, session out there in the heat, it's going to be a little difficult. So, yeah, it really is nothing, but obviously it's going to be something that fans are going to keep tabs on.
Well, and, they're just I understand the first-time thing. For me, in my vehicle, right, our vehicle is your sports writing, radio interviews, things like that. Mine is the shows, all that kind of stuff. Everybody has their own vehicle. For Traylon Burks, he's a wide receiver in the NFL now. And for me, my first time, I can tell you this. If it's my first time doing anything new, I don't care. I've been doing radio now for almost 10 years. Anything new, I start immediately freaking out on the very first one. Just get me through the first day, second day and on, everything's smooth sailing. But even with this show, the very first show, I go back and watch it and listen to myself. I can just tell, like, oh man, I'm freaking out while I'm talking here. It's always my worst performance. So I think everybody needs to just kind of chill out a little bit and realize, like, hey, let them get adapted into the scheme and to the situation.
No, it's funny you bring that up because I'm similar. I don't get nervous, but when it's my first time doing something, I start sweating like crazy, basically like I'm doing any radio interview. And maybe that's Traylon Burks. Maybe he gets out there in the hot heat. It's his first NFL rookie minicamp. He's all excited. He's running hot. He starts getting overheated. Maybe it was something like that because I know for sure that would be me.
What do they call it in fighting, Ray? Is it the energy dump? You get, like, a lot of boxing, they say the first round you can get an energy dump.
That's right.
Yeah, and you just get you go out there, and maybe that's what it was. He just had an energy dump. So I think people need to kind of chill it on that talk so far. I want to change it up, Jordan, a little bit here. Keeping with the NFL, but did you? I feel like you probably saw it. I was a little bummed out by Ray. He didn't see any of the videos for the season announcements for all these individual teams. Did you get to see any of them? I'm hoping you did.
So I actually only saw 2. I guess that shows you my interest level. I think they're pretty cool, but obviously I was working, like 12 hours yesterday, filling out all these schedules, inserting data into data sheets, if you will. I saw the Carolina Panthers, which was kind of cool, but I think the overall winner, the number one, was obviously the Los Angeles Chargers with all the shots they took at their teams. The Chargers' social media account made my day a lot better with what the product they were able to put together.
You need to go check out the Buffalo Bills one as well. That one's
okay. I will.
Have you ever heard of the Eric Andre show on Adult Swim?
Yeah, is he the dude? Is he the black dude with like really puffy hair who does like the nighttime interview shows and he's like awkward? He asks people weird questions.
Exactly, and it's that exact format for the Buffalo Bills one as well.
I like that a lot. Then
yeah, you'll like it. It's kind of grotesque too, so it's fun in that sense. When you've been looking at, because you were just talking about it, and once again, we're speaking with Jordan DeJani. You can follow him on Twitter at Jordan DeJani. Just think of spelling the word Dasani, but then just put a J where the S would be, and that's how you find him on Twitter. He's verified too, so look for that. Beautiful bald head he has. Just a little dig there because you're verified. I think you can handle it.
The dig is to you, not to him. Jordan, the dig is to him, not to you.
But all the same, looking at these schedules so far, as the NFL as a whole, what matchup so far has got you the most pumped for certain times in the season?
Yeah, I think everything in week 1 was pretty exciting. You got a really big matchup with the Rams, and I believe it's the Bills that's going to kick off the entire season. I mean, a lot of people think that could be, a Super Bowl preview, if you would. One that was really weird to me, and we could probably spend an entire segment on it, but how about Russell Wilson returning to Seattle in week 1? That was something I never thought the NFL would do. I feel like that's something you want to ramp up towards. But they're just starting off the regular year with it, and obviously that's going to be something everyone's excited to watch. And I think it's kind of a beneficial thing to the Broncos as well because Russell Wilson has spent his entire career in Seattle, and he's obviously going to be emotional and feeling feelings when he takes the field as an enemy instead of as the prized franchise quarterback. It might be good for Denver to kind of get that one out of the way first, and then really start over that new era with Russell Wilson under center.
How do you think the Seattle fans are going to react to him? I don't think it's going to be any kind of like booing or anything going on, right?
It'll be both. That's my opinion. I think it will be both. I mean, there's no getting past like what he brought to that franchise, a Super Bowl win, and just the consistency and longevity that he's provided that franchise. But at the same time, there's obviously rumblings about him being unhappy and him wanting out, and there's been a lot of headlines about that over the past calendar year, really. So you're going to have fans who obviously are upset and are feeling some kind of way, especially in the regular season opener. So I would imagine it's going to be a pretty mixed response.
We were going through the Tennessee Titans schedule in the first hour, Jordan, and obviously that week 2 matchup, we've known about it for a little bit now. Monday Night Football, Titans versus Bills. It seems like the most devastating early game that the Tennessee Titans could possibly face. Have the Bills host in that Monday Night Football. They're already painting it up as a Monday night rematch. It's like this heavyweight boxing match where the champion got dethroned and now he's getting his chance back for the title. Do you feel like that game is even in the grass for the Tennessee Titans?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely think it's in the grasp. I think it's a matchup that a lot of people and fans who are honest with themselves are probably leaning towards the Titans taking an L in week 2. But I was thinking today, I mean, if you remember, the Bills, they got off to a decent start last year, but it wasn't an immaculate start. I mean, they lost their home opener to the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 1. And, of course, in the middle of the year, they had some weird games. After they lost to Tennessee, they beat Miami, but then they lost to Jacksonville. They gave Urban Meyer a win. So, the Buffalo Bills are the Super Bowl favorite, and I'm going to say that again, the Super Bowl favorite in Vegas. And they're not tied with anybody for shortest odds. They are the standalone favorite to win the Super Bowl. So I think that a lot of people are anticipating a hot start, but at the same time, that's not something that's, put into stone just yet. So I think that Tennessee, if I had to say right now, is probably going to lose that game. But it's always possible that Buffalo gets off to a slow start. But then again, it's in Buffalo. It's a primetime game. There's that whole revenge factor. So, yeah, I'm leaning towards a loss there in week 2.
We're just touching all the bases right now, NFL-wise, with Jordan Ajani. He covers them for CBS Sports. Once again, follow him on Twitter, at Jordan Ajani. Looking at some of the headlines coming out today, big one obviously being Jarvis Landry going to the Saints. Do you feel like, one, it's a good fit for the Saints to get Jarvis Landry, and two, did it ever feel like this was where he was going to end up?
Yeah, so to answer that first, I mean, I like the Saints. I even tweeted before the trade, shortly before the trade, that this Saints team is going to be better than people anticipate. And that's because they get Michael Thomas back. Obviously, Kamara is going to be back in the backfield. And then you're going to have Chris Olave, who I think is one of the safest picks in this draft. I think he's going to be a day-one impact guy. And then all of a sudden you add Jarvis Landry to this mix. So Jameis Winston is going to have, the most weapons at his disposal that he's had in New Orleans since he signed with them. So that's a really big addition. I think this Saints team people are sleeping on. In fact, I got to look at their win total over at Caesars Sportsbook to see if I should put some money on the over. So now in terms of did I know he was going to sign there, yeah, I knew they were a potential landing spot. New Orleans was doing their homework on wide receiver. Landry obviously has some ties to that area of the country as well. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that it was New Orleans, but obviously this is a pretty big addition to an offense that's going to be fun to watch in 2022.
With that, though, it's still Jameis Winston behind the helm, right? So do you temper that a little bit?
Last year, man, Jameis looked great before his ACL fell off.
I forget that you're a big Jameis Winston stan, though.
I think I'm being pretty objective, but yeah, that's kind of true too.
I just question it because one, I think it's a good fit because what it does for the Saints is it gives them a backup to win, or if, I mean, really, I say win, but more or less if Michael Thomas decides to go all AWOL again on the season, and he's not out there, they get a number one back there. I think Olave is a solid pickup as well. Adam Troutman's also a fantastic tight end. Young, still moving up in the ranks as tight ends, but I think he's got a good year. It just feels like the Winston, if they could have gotten a different quarterback back there, just feel like it. I want to say, we're not going to put them top in the NFC South, right?
Well, I mean, the Buccaneers haven't beaten the Saints in the regular season in, 2 years? I think they're 0-4 against New Orleans over the past 2 years. And, with Jameis, it's weird because there was a narrative going around, the Saints made that draft trade to go get a quarterback. Well, anyone who followed the Saints understood that they were not eyeing a quarterback. Jameis went 5-2 as a starter, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. So the narrative has shifted completely on him, and he seems like he's turned over a new leaf as well. So it was more about giving him a couple more weapons. It was more about shoring up the defensive side of the ball, which they've done a good job with, getting Tyrann Mathieu, the hometown hero. So, the Saints, they're going to give Jameis Winston another shot to prove that he can be a franchise quarterback. So it'll be exciting to watch.
And that wasn't the only news today. We obviously had a trade out of Las Vegas going over to Atlanta. So Marcus Mariota at least gets a talent that he possibly practiced with, if not played with a little bit there in Las Vegas. Bryan Edwards getting traded to Atlanta. Where do you think he fits now with that wide receiver group in Atlanta? Because I think, one, he's a pretty talented guy that never really got his wheels going in Oakland, if you will. Las Vegas, that is.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I love Bryan Edwards. 6'3" guy, obviously was like a second-team All-SEC player in South Carolina. He made still the craziest catch I've ever seen in real life, in Neyland Stadium. Anyone who was there against South Carolina a few years ago knows what I'm talking about. He's a guy who can make an impact down the field. He's a guy who's a decent route runner. He can be somewhat of a home run hitter. As you mentioned, he didn't really get things started, get things off the ground with Vegas. But he had a couple moments where he showed up in certain quarters and carried that offense, for a drive or two. So I really like this. I think he's going to be a legitimate number 2 wide receiver. And, you brought up that connection with Marcus Mariota. I believe that Marcus probably had some input into this transaction. So with what he was traded for, 5th-round pick, send a 7th in return to get a legitimate starting wide receiver, just 23 years old, I like this trade a lot for Atlanta because they needed to add some wide receivers there.
Jordan, I appreciate you jumping on with us, my man. I was going to ask you one last thing. How do you feel now that Malik Willis said Ryan Tannehill had a sleepover with him finally?
Oh my gosh, I feel so good. I have no idea why the national media really hyped up that quote. It headlined every ESPN show for one day, what Ryan Tannehill said, and even I like more what Mike Vrabel said. Mike Vrabel came out today and said, yeah, it's not Ryan Tannehill's job to mentor Malik Willis. His job is to play quarterback and win football games and take us to the promised land. That should be something that's understood by all media instead of all of us thinking that Ryan Tannehill is giving Malik Willis the silent treatment. So that was good to see. The national media, who is not me, are obviously not going to cover that quote. It's not going to make headlines. But it shows you that there's no internal turmoil with the Tennessee Titans.
Logan Woodside just doesn't exist also. Like, that guy's not even on the picture anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately. He was a serviceable backup for a while, knew the offensive system, but Malik Willis is obviously that shiny new toy that you want to steal from the neighborhood kid.
Exactly. Jordan DeJani been joining us here talking about the NFL with CBS Sports or CBS Sports. My man, thank you so much for jumping in last second with us and helping us get to the weekend.
Anytime. Appreciate you guys always. Have a good rest of the show.
Thanks, buddy. All right, you can follow him once again on Twitter at Jordan DeJani. We need to get Jordan back into the studio here. We haven't had him back in the studio in a little bit, so we need to get him back in. Always love hearing from him. Terrific follow on Twitter, by the way. He puts a lot of good news out there, a lot of good stuff. He's very much up with it, if you will, going with all the sports and everything. And he also listens to he's a stretcher as well, because he'll text me randomly as we're in a segment or something and tell me, his thoughts on it just when he wants to talk about it. So I appreciate Jordan, good friend of the show. All right, if you want to jump in, final few minutes coming up left. The afternoon stretch, 615-844-5600. We want to hear from you on this Friday, the 13th edition of the show. Vandy Boys, Arkansas happening. 6:15, by the way. I got to correct myself. Ray Dosky corrected me off air, but he gets the credit for doing it because it was a 6:15 start. I said 5:45. That's not true. So we got a 6:15 start for Vanderbilt Boys. Vandy Boys. Why am I saying Vanderbilt Boys? Sounds so incredibly wrong that I want to make a shirt out of it now. Just the Vanderbilt Boys. I don't know. I want that one now. We got to get that made ASAP. Back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
Hey Nashville, Ray here. Many of us suffer from anxiety when going to the dentist. You guys need to check out my friends over at Bite Dentistry, where Dr. Lewis and her team are amazing. Bite Dentistry is where my family goes for all of our dental care. Their mission is to help patients breathe better, smile bigger, and live longer by offering a comprehensive selection of services and total dental care for every member of your family. Bite Dentistry is the only dentist in town trained and certified to offer the Vivos method that helps with people who grind their teeth at night or snore that causes sleep apnea. The Vivos technology is also provided for both kids and adults. They also work with a company called Guard Lab, which creates custom mouth guards, which are the same mouth guards used by the Tennessee Titans. Located at 3212 West End Avenue, Suite 301, Nashville. You can set up an appointment by calling them at 615-866-2129. That's 615-866-2129. And follow them on social media and online at bitedds.com.
Ad paid for by Anthem Tax Services. Attention! If you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes by up to 99%. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-297-0674 to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-297-0674. That's 800-297-0674. Again, 800-297-0674.
Hey, Braves fan, it's time for baseball, and that means it's time to cheer on the World Series defending champions, the Atlanta Braves, in the 2022 season. Attorney Klein Preston of the Klein Preston Law Group wants you to join him in cheering on the World Series defending champions, the Atlanta Braves, for the start of the 2022 season. Here's to another amazing season for Braves country here on your home for the Atlanta Braves. Nashville Sports Radio.
Five-state forecast.
Your exclusive Nashville Sports Radio WNSR Sky Scan forecast. Throughout this afternoon, partly sunny and breezy, temps near 80, partly cloudy overnight tonight, lows drop to the low 60s. On Saturday, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, partly sunny, temps low 80s. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network on Nashville Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's Joe Gardner.
Sports Radio WNSR.
Final segment of today's show. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. Be a part of the Friday the 13th edition of the show. Ooh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Friday the 13th right there. Spooky episode. We're finishing off the spooky episode of the season. If you want to get involved, once again, 615-844-5600. Good job, Ray. Good job on that. Ray got getting the quick drops in there. We like to see it. Once again, 615-844-5600. Let's go to the phone lines to finish out today. We hadn't heard from Steve in a little bit. Steve from Broadway. What are you doing, Steve?
Not much. Some guys in front of me were just trying to offer some beads to some girls. I don't know what that means, but they didn't give them to them. So I'm trying to get a free show. You guys better leave the show quick. Y'all got to get to the new kids on the block tonight, don't you? Don't y'all have front row seats?
Steve, here's the problem. Zach has no idea who New Kids on the Block are.
Oh, is this a band thing?
It's a boy band.
Because once you said that, I wish you were
not kids anymore.
I wish you were in studio or you were watching the live stream here. Because when you mentioned the New Kids on the Block, Zach gave me what? Lost.
This is an old person thing, yeah.
This was Mark Wahlberg's older brother. Yeah, he just That's it.
Yeah, okay, I know where it is now. Yeah, Steve, you lost me with that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Forget what age bracket I'm talking to here.
Hey, Ray's in your class.
Hey,
I had to save my man Steve there.
Yeah, no, Steve for sure.
Hey, I'd go. There'd be a lot of ladies there, probably some single ladies. But whatever.
Happily married, Steve.
Yeah,
happily
in their
married.
40s and 50s.
I'm not anymore.
Steve.
I was never happily married, but I need me a sugar mama. So, anyway. Hey, a scenario I was thinking of today and kind of threw out in the Vandy baseball page. So, Andrew Jones' son, probably the first overall pick next year, is committed to Vanderbilt. Is there ever a scenario that he would bypass all that money and not be the number one pick? I mean, what kind of NIL money could he get? I don't even know what the new number one money thing is, but of course I'd love it, but I think he'd be crazy to do it.
Well, so it's really strange with baseball. I feel like there's probably other people that are more intelligent on these things. With NIL, I wouldn't think he's going to be able to get crazy amount comparatively to an MLB contract. A lot of it though is when you hear it from these guys saying that they bypass the draft pick just to go go to a college wherever it is, and especially one with Vanderbilt. I feel like what you're seeing and hearing is wisdom being spoken through them, because when you go in that MLB draft and you go right, you're not going to the show, right? That's just not how baseball works. You might eventually, but you can take a longer path going through the minor leagues, the lower divisions, and then up into the MLB. I feel like when you get in with Corbin, you could have more of a Kyle Wright situation where you get in with Corbin, have some good years there, and then you go indirectly to a World Series, hunting team. Now, he didn't show up exactly how everybody wanted to when that happened for the Braves, obviously. But that got him into that situation a whole lot quicker into the MLB and got him up to the show a whole lot faster than had he just gone straight through the draft and yada, yada, yada. So I feel like it's a wiser thing to go to college. But, I mean, passing up the money, that's really tough.
Yeah, and with baseball, like my dad always said, you're not really going. I mean, if you're a top pick, you're going to get $20 million plus whatever to sign. But you're really going. You want to go ahead and get your time under you to where you get that second contract. That's where you make the Mookie Betts $300 million contract. So if you go to college, you're 3 years behind if you end up being that elite talent. So that's, if it's about the money, that's, hopefully his dad was good with his money, whatever. But, people say Kumar, they went for the education, but kind of backfired on him. I feel bad for him because if he would have come straight out of high school, I'm sure he would have been a first rounder, and maybe he wouldn't be dealing with all he's dealing with now. So I don't know. It's a hard.
It's 6 one way, half a dozen another, right? Because the problems can occur on either side. Being too young, unproven, going into the MLB, going into that series, getting all that money. Who knows? You go broke. We've seen that tons of times with athletes. Going to college like Rocker, you get the usage out of it, you get the name, but then people are able to pick apart more of what's wrong with you as opposed to what's right with you. So there's a give and take on both sides, and that that's why it's tough. But it's a good position to be in, at least.
Yeah, and help me wrap my mind around it. Is it his people going out and getting Nike to give him money? It's not exactly like a Vandy booster saying, "Here's $1 million, come to my school." I still can't quite grasp the whole NIL. How do you direct them to your school thing?
So you could have your own people go out and do that. You could do it yourself also, right, as the player. Vanderbilt has a new thing that I think it's Vanderbilt, Stanford, and I'm forgetting the other school that it is. School that starts with a P, and I can't remember which one it is. But they actually have something built up with NBC where NBC is going to help facilitate that for the student athletes of those schools to be connected to like a middleman, if you will, to the bigger, Disney's, Amazon, whatever, for those NILs to help them get money. That's a new thing that was announced a month or so ago. So they're starting to grow like different networks to help facilitate some of these NIL conversations. Ohio State did one where their boosters are spending money into a nonprofit that then is given to individuals. They're picking whichever players out of Ohio State. You're going to see this with more programs that are going to pop up where they're just creating it in-house and giving these guys, $100,000 a season or whatever, if not more.
And what's the thing the NCAA came out with this week where they're trying to start put some limits on it? Or
hey, Steve, it's money that the NCAA got forced into just saying, yeah, we don't want the Supreme Court to get down our case. Yeah, just do NIL. You can have whatever you said. And now they're seeing guys getting $8 million a year deals and all this different stuff. And this is just the start of it. We're going to see when the next Tebow hits or the next what's the blonde-haired goddess that plays for Jacksonville? What's her name?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, yeah, when the next Trevor Lawrence shows up, that person's going to be able to get a blank check from everywhere, and the NCAA is going to say, hey, we want some of this money. I'm telling you, the future of this is NCAA starts trying to take in the NIL money, getting their own money, and then they're going to start trying to keep athletes longer before going into the NFL or whatever the respective professional league is, and then they're going to start competing with the professional leagues inside of advertising dollars. I'm telling you, this is the future. And people tell me I'm crazy when I say this. That's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, all right, Ray, you going to show them how to play golf this weekend? You're going to hit the links, shoot you a 66?
That's one hole for Ray.
That was one hole. It was so bad.
12 or 30 you got to pick up at some point.
Yeah, eventually I will have to. And now that is my goal. That's like on my bucket list for this summer is to learn how to play golf.
Mm-hmm. We're going to do it.
My goal is is there any way I could get like under 100?
Oh, I think so. For sure. Well, I don't know.
Is that stretching it?
If we lie, I think we can do it. Hey, Steve, I appreciate you calling in, bro.
Well, have a good weekend.
Later, Steve.
Thanks, buddy.
Is that stretching it?
It could be stretching it. Speaking of stretching it, Sunday, you have a show.
I do have a show.
Tell me about it.
Oh, it's such a fabulous show. Everyone needs to tune in. Normally it's on 11 and 12.
Special timing.
Every Sunday. But due to the fact that we have Atlanta Braves going against the Padres, early start time, I believe it's 9:05.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be pushing it back maybe an hour later. I think it believes it starts at 1 to 1:45 because right after our show, we have Vandy baseball to wrap up their 3-game series against Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
So before then, between those games, you can check myself and Pat and Cook. We're going to probably circle the wagon to see what's going on in sports, probably talking NFL. Maybe have a guest on there, so be sure to check us out.
Run with it.
Run with it.
That's the name of the show.
We just got to run with it.
And then a special edition of Run with It because Monday is a special day in general. I'm already nervous saying it. I'm not going to be here Monday. Bruno won't be here Monday. So
you take so many days off.
I take so many days off. My first day of taking off, I don't think I took any of MSM off on Saturdays. TAS definitely haven't taken any off outside of, we got games that jump our schedule or something. It'll be my first day off, I don't know, like 4 years. I will not be here Monday. Filling in for us will be Patton Cook and Ray Dosky. Y'all will be
the Run With It crew.
Run With It will have it for 2 hours here on Nashville Sports Radio that Monday. So I will be back Tuesday and then on for another 4 years. I won't take another day off. But then you'll have Ray Dosky and you'll also have Patton Cook. And we know right now at 4:20, Eric Hasseltine, voice of the Grizz, will either be doing a season wrap-up or ramping you up for the
Game 7.
Game 7. So it'll be fun at 4:20.
Game 7, here we come.
We'll definitely have that. So a special edition of the afternoon stretch as we're having the Run With It crew take over for 2 hours. So excited for that. Appreciative of that.
You're welcome. Enjoy your 3-day weekend.
3-day weekend, baby. That's what's going on. Hey, no days off. We're always grinding. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm working, baby. Thank you to everybody who called in this week, commented, watched in, listened in. However you did, I appreciate it so much. Everybody have a safe, fun weekend. Be safe. I'll see you all Tuesday. The show will be back Monday. Remember, if nobody told you, I love you and you matter. Have a great weekend, everyone.